Even as you're making these decisions, there's importance of having someone to guide you through. Did you have that person to hold your hand and to tell you, okay, fine, on the other side, it's not going to be easy, but this is what you need to do? Because I feel like there has to be that one person who needs to push you sometimes and just to let you know that it's okay, it's fine. You know, it's not going to be easy, but it's worth it. Did you have that one person?
Today, I'm a life coach.
Yeah.
But this is what I tell people, that every coach needs a coach to guide them. So you may not, no man is an island.
Yeah.
You need somebody to guide you.
Yeah.
And I found one. I was actually going through the websites and the profiles of many speakers and motivational speakers that I knew. And my eyes landed on one particular one. For what reason? I don't know. And I looked at this profile and I liked it. Luckily, there was a number, and I called that number. And this number was of a gentleman called Bugwa Mombi. Bugwa Mombi was one of the people that walked with me.
He's a friend of ours.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You know him?
Oh, yes, we do.
Great. So Bugwa Mombi took me through some lessons, and he started coaching me in this journey because I liked what he was doing. And besides that, I also was very inspired by his story. From a very humble background.
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't have the papers, the credentials that were needed.
He was a T-boy.
He was a T-boy.
At a bank.
Yeah, and probably some people have never known the details of that story. But you see, at some point, he was about to just decide now, I've had it. I just want to transit to my Father in heaven. But you see, because of the dream that he had seen, when he was taken to the bank, at a tender age, in class 5, by his mother, who had gone to borrow some money from a friend for him to go back to school, he remembered what he had seen. And when he was going to, he had reached a place of desperation in his life, he walked past Barclays Bank, and he remembered what he had seen when he was a young boy. And he stepped in there, and that's how he became a T-boy. But now the journey later on, he left the bank as a senior manager. He also went to Cooperative Bank as a senior manager. But you see, after that, what is he doing? He's doing major things. He's transforming lives, and that's what I love doing. So he's one of the people that have worked with me. Number 2, I also stepped into the Destiny Life Coaching with Jeff Ndiwa. Yeah, and that's where I did my coaching training.
Okay, but even Francis, as you were making this decision and as you're going through this transition, of course, we cannot assume everything was so easy because you're moving from a place where you're used to getting your paycheck every single month to this unknown area where you're not sure how this is going to work out. You're not even sure whether you're going to make money the first 2-3 months. How did you deal with that? You know, with that realization of, okay, maybe it's not really what I thought it was going to be. Yes.
One of the things in the 3-year journey that I walked with my resignation letter, I was working on myself and not on the journey.
Yes.
And I told myself that, of course, the provisions may not come the way they were coming. And now I need to know how I'm going to spend. I need to cut off on some things. I need to be ready and prepared on how my children are going to go to school. Because I wouldn't want to see a situation where my children are not going to school because they lack school fees. And so I worked on that, and I asked myself questions. What if the provisions don't come? Am I ready for this? And so when you're making that transitional journey, you also need to be prepared like 6 months in advance.
Ahead,
you need to know where your rent is going to come from, not from what you're starting. Not from what you're starting, but you need to set yourself in such a way that now you don't just tap out this month and the next month you become a borrower. So you need to really work on yourself. Even before you work on other things, work on yourself. Now, the things that you do not know, how do they reflect on you? You need to deal with that. If you need to go back to school, go back to school. Like for me, that's when I realized that I needed to get somebody like Bugwa Mombi. I realized I wanted to do coaching. I had done this like 2 times, talking to my colleagues, and I was asking them this question. Can you write for me what you like about me, and more so, what you hate about me, the things that you don't like about me? I did a self-audit about 3 times. And some of my friends were brutally honest.
Ruthless with the answers.
Yes, and I loved that because I decided I needed to work on that. Some of them told me, you're very stubborn. I love that because you're telling me the areas that I need to work on. And so I took this self-audit and started working on that line. Now, I told myself, they used to tell me, for you, I know you as a coach. I know you as a trainer. I know you as a person who likes to inspire people. You like to motivate people. And then I told myself, okay, now I'm stepping out. Now, how am I going to coach people? I don't know how coaching is done. I've just been doing it by default. I don't know how it's done. Number two, how am I going to talk to people and inspire them and transform their lives? I don't know how it's done. And so I needed to sit down under a teacher for me to get that. Because every adjustment, every advancement needs an adjustment. I need to adjust. You need to adjust. You cannot do the same things and expect to get different results. Because whatever worked in that area that you're in may not work in the other area that you're going to.